I arrived in Vava'u at near sunset, and so I headed straight southeast down into Port Morel. Actually, just a beautiful open bay, very protected. Had help getting my anchor down, and then I headed into Niafu town the next day to check in. Here we are about to try and clear in, and I had two pairs of very kind people come and help me. Now I've got to go and find the customs people because they're not coming to me on my boat. Having found the relevant officials, I then discovered that, it was really quite close to closing time. So the agreement was, okay, you stay overnight on the dock there and we'll see you in the morning, which eventually they did. Very friendly, but very relaxed. So after the customs and immigration officials, we had the health person come on board. But that was it. I was cleared in, very, very easy, very friendly. And I discovered that I just got in time for the Blue Water Festival. It was a week-long festival the following week. And what a wonderful start to the festival. I mean, how better than to be introduced to Tonga than coming along and finding that there are these beautiful singers with their guitars, these guys sitting around a great bowl of kava, which I'd heard so much about but never had. And we just later on in the afternoon, a whole group of us just congregated around, enjoying the music and enjoying trying the kava, which is basically a very relaxing. It's not like having too much alcohol. You just get very relaxed when you're having it. It's very, very pleasant. A bit like tasting dishwater, but the taste wasn't exactly anything to write home about. But what a lovely introduction to Tonga this was. Next day was Sunday, and being Tonga, everyone goes to church. Sunday, they don't work. They don't want other people to work. In fact, I think it's illegal to work, and so it's a complete day of rest. So everyone goes to church, and again, wonderful singing. The whole congregation would harmonise. Everyone sang beautifully, and then looking at the what they were wearing, the traditional Tongan attire, the yavala, the skirt, the yavala, the matting that they wrap around their hips, and then the belt, and then the decorations coming off the belt. All very different, all very interesting. It was fascinating. Lovely day. And the next day, the Blue Water Festival got well underway with some fun dancing by the locals. Totally different from the dancing in French Polynesia, but great fun, really enjoyable festival, a whole week of different events happening. And what fun this lot were having. They really were having fun with their dancing. And notice the typical skirts that the men were wearing. So many people in Tonga, so many of the men. The women also wear them to an extent, but the men in particular, and especially the officials in the traditional Tongan outfits will wear this long skirt, which is a wraparound affair. Through town down to some caves which are supposed to be down in the south end here, so very pleasant walk. These enormously high palm trees caught my eye with the leaves just at the very top, and then it was past some kava, some Tongan kava being dried in the sun, ready to be made into powder, to be powdered, ready to be made into the kava drink, which we saw earlier, a very popular drink in Tonga. The local school and the kids playing football. Quite a small football, mind you. Are you going to say hello? Say hello? Okay, lovely. And then on to the walking on towards the cave here. Interesting. Right down to the beach, a steep walk down to the beach, and then the cave was behind the beach. It's shaded here as we go down the steps. And here's the entrance to the cave. Well, clearly water in here. The entrance is actually fairly high up above the beach. And of course, looking out over the beach, you're looking across to some of the many islands that Tonga has. And then it was on to one of the many events at the Blue Water Festival, which I was very lucky to have arrived just in time for. A lot of really nice, good events. Meeting up, of course, with a lot of cruiser friends, some people I knew before and some ones that I was just meeting up with for the first time, but had probably heard of their boat. And part of the events was a bit of racing. So I was really lucky to be invited to join on Orion, a French boat. And here we are coming down to the windward mark and then up again. So very, very lovely to be able to take part in a race, really enjoyable. And that, in fact, was one of 2 races that I was able to take part in that week. And amusingly, at the end of the one race, the first person into the mangoes was the winner, and so Simon jumped off the boat and dived in and had to swim into shore. That was a fun ending to the race.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey! And here we have our skipper Patrick, very much into racing. The whole boat was set up for racing. Sadly, 2 boats had come in dismasted, and a third one actually had sorted themselves out with a similar major problem at sea. And this was Dance Me, and this is the jury rig that they managed to set up with help from another boater, and actually got them safely to Tonga at 3.5 to 4 knots. They did so well. During the week, one lovely event was being taken down to a beach well down south of Vava'u, the main town, and there the locals had set up a demonstration of the traditional feast, the umu, which was the oven which was in the ground, where they heated hot stones to heat the food. And this is showing, in fact, where we'd gone down to, quite a way down. It was interesting to go down and see the countryside on the way. And then we were shown how to make the lau, which is the food that goes into the oven. Again, it's all the totally traditional way of cooking, and which they frequently make on a Sunday. Regularly on Sunday, they still do that, because Sunday is very much a day of rest here in Tonga, in Vava'u, and so they cook get the umu going, the heated stones down in the earth, in the ground, cover it with leaves, and then leave it for an hour or 2. And very, very interesting to see it all. And they're such lovely, friendly people, always with a big smile and a hello, or malo elele, which is the hello in Tongan, and malo epito, which is thank you, or thank you very much. And what really fascinated me, actually, was seeing how they made coconut milk, which is a necessary ingredient, a vital ingredient in the food. The taro leaf has the meat in it, with onion and tomato maybe, and then they squeeze coconut milk. Well, to make it, you've got to break the coconut open, you've got to then grate the coconut flesh, and then it's squeezed in the outer coconut fibres from the outside of the shell. Right, do you use any of the skin for sausage?
What?
Do you use any of the intestine for sausage?
No.
You don't make sausage? Right, not a traditional thing. So here we have I think it's the liver.
So we eat this one as well.
Just poke it with a straw.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're in the picture. In their traditional matting, a kind of a skirt, a yavala, which they wear regularly. I mean, a lot of the time, or certainly on Sundays.
I'm just gonna pick. You got a little. Oh, thank you. There you go. So just you're gonna cut the onion. So if you like the onion, not me, sometimes. Then yeah, you can put onions on your meat and salt, and also the coconut cream from the other side, because the moisture you're scraping the coconut. Okay, so let's say how many you want to put. Two? Are you sure? Okay. What's the first time? Okay. You love meat or no? Let's eat. Okay. Thank you, Pita. Okay, let's say 3, right? Okay. For this one, the meat.
What kind of meat is that?
You can use it with your hand, like my hand is dirty, so you can use a spoon. So this one, right?
Okay.
So it's up to you how many meat you want.
Okay, that's enough. And that's pork.
This is beef.
Beef. Oh,
yeah.
Beef.
So let's say this one. Because sometimes when I cut the onion, it always make me cry.
Always.
No. I'll save the tears for something else. There you go. If you want it a lot, then you put, if it's just a small. So you put it here. Then after that, you have to hold it like this as a cup. And then the coconut cream, you put it inside. You have to wrap it like this. But are we wrapping it now or not?
You have to put cream
Why?
on.
Because we don't
Coconut
have
cream.
Good, excellent. Okay, so we have to wait, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to open it. You can use another leaf. Just have to cover it and wait.
For the coconut.
Yes, there you go.
All right.
So we just want the men to hurry up, yeah?
Yeah. And then,
Just have to push them hard. Hurry up.
now you have to show us.
Now,
Banana.
I have to use the banana now. Just can I use the knife, please?
Okay. I'm gonna put this on here.
So if the leaf is too big, I wonder why my hand is dirt. Because I washed it already. I did. I washed it. So you just have to cut it. Oh,
No, I drank all the cheese. Now
sorry. I am so sorry.
mine's
Okay.
soft. Mine's a little hard. So that's why I'm doing it with this. Too much cooking of coconut.
I know my muscle is shaking now. Okay. Let's say we use this part. So you use this face. Okay? So let's say we look for another one. Find it. Let's just use this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's use 4. How about if we use it with corned beef? Would that be okay? Okay. There you go.
Actually, I have to say that the corned
Is it
beef
this
and the
one?
lao was actually
Use the
my
same thing.
favourite of
Whatever
all
meat
of
you
the
want, you just put it.
different meats
That's
to
all.
be added in there.
And can I borrow? Thank you. Just a little bit of onion. And then coconut cream. There you go. And then either you can just put it on top of this one.
But how do you close this one?
You close it. So you just have to wrap it like this. Cover it. You cover it like this. Fold it like this. Fold it. And fold it. And this one, you have to tie it with this.
So that's your string.
Yes.
Right,
And then they put it on the ground in the oven.
right.
So with this one, you just have to make sure that it's soft. So you put your hand like this. And I see my grandma usually do this. So you have to tie this one at the end. So when you wrap it, it comes all the way and then you tie it over here.
Oh, okay.
Instead of losing it. So we'll just have to wait for the coconut.
So you always make the knot in the thick end?
Yes, we can make more when the coconut cream is here. And anyone can just make your own mold, right?
What he's doing is grating the coconut and then he'll squeeze it in a cloth to get the cream out. That looks like a lot of effort. Okay, the pig is being roasted and it has to be turned all the time. Doing well, getting hot. Still not ready for the food to go in. The guys have been standing up to now, but now they're getting a seat because they've got a hand turn it all the time.
Oh, that's some mussels. Wait.
No cheesecloth here. Wow.
You need, yeah, look at those arms. A big man.
And it's a little bit at a time, right?
Next one.
Everything.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, backpack.
Yeah, sure.
You will coming.
Use a coconut cream.
That, and then some onion, and then we're going to put coconut
Okay.
milk on that.
So you hold it like this. That's a cup. And you can use this one. You do a scoop. Put it in.
Down there?
So once the coconut cream had been added to the meat in the taro leaves, then it was wrapped. Of course, traditionally it would have been in the banana leaves that we saw before, not in aluminium foil.
Is there any onion?
That's it. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. So I was wandering around having a bit of coconut flesh, very young, very soft, and the kids were having a great time. There are quite a few boats with kids on, and they were having a lovely time getting to know the locals as well. And then some of the local kids were giving dancing and singing, which was quite amusing. While the food was cooking, while the lao was cooking in the umu, the oven, I went wandering on the foreshore and was fascinated by these black creatures in the shallow water at low tide. Absolutely fascinating. The next day being the Friday, we had another race on Orion, and I'm delighted to say that we came well ahead of everyone else in the fleet. We really came first with a vengeance. They actually used the boat as the final mark for the other boats to come around so that they could finish the race. Close to the main wharf, the jetty where the ferries dock, and where I also had to come in to check in, is the local market. And interestingly, Tonga was able to grow plenty of tomatoes. So for a change, I was able to get tomatoes all the time I was there. Really lovely ones, small and big. And another section in the market was devoted to the traditional carvings and weavings. Beautiful carvings in wood and stones, small and large. And the woven, the yavala, the skirt-like material. The Sunday after the festival, we were invited, the crew of Orion that is, were invited for a traditional Sunday meal in a village. But of course, first, being Sunday, we had to go to church. So after that wonderful singing, we met up with Vi's grandmother, and you'll notice that Vi is wearing the traditional over a kind of a belt thing. It's very, very traditional. A lot of the Tongans will wear that over their clothing. And then we went, surprisingly, to a kava ceremony, a kava drinking session with the local preacher and the elders of the church. This was what they did every Sunday after the service. They sat in a circle and drank kava. Then we walked over to Vi's house, where she and her grandmother had been busily cooking and preparing a meal for us, traditional one. And here we can see the traditional grater for the coconut grate the coconut to make the coconut cream, which is such a vital ingredient in their cooking. Unfortunately, every cruiser needs a reliable outboard on their dinghy, and mine was anything but. So here we see Venny, who is the local moorings charter fleet mechanic, very good mechanic, having a go at sorting out my outboard. Well, possibly we're seeing the edge of the bad weather here. The sun's gone down and we've got a rather nice red sky. Absolute edge of the cloud layer there. Well, we're just passing Swallow's Cave, so called. A lot of people go there. Very easy snorkeling. In fact, I'm told you can take the dinghy in, although I've not tried that. And very nice to be underway again. Really good to be moving away from the anchorage. And of course, it's really nice that the sun's shining and the wind is beginning to die down a little bit. Should get much less over the next day or so. But lovely to get some nice warm sunshine instead of the grey clouds we've been having. Wow, clearly a lot of fish here. These birds, so many birds. And you can see the fish jumping, well not jumping, but coming to the surface. So the birds are having a good feed, I think. Underway again. Saturday morning, leaving the little anchorage. We had a bit of a party last night. It was someone's birthday, so that was really nice to get together with some other cruisers. And now I'm off to another anchorage off near to a reef, so hoping to do a bit of snorkeling, maybe some diving. Heading north now, passing A'a Island. What a funny name, A'a, A''A, A'a Island. Very steep too. Just like all the islands are well undercut at sea level. So really having a good look at how undercut most of these islands are. They're made of limestone that has been raised up above sea level, and so many caves, fascinating geology, and makes for really good exploring and snorkeling. So coincidentally, on Canadian Thanksgiving Day, we found that the Picton Castle, the Canadian tour ship, was in the harbour. This was the way out of the Neafu harbour, heading down and out to most of the other islands, and very, very pleasant, wide open, a few shallows on either side, the odd coral reef. Here we are rounding the southwest corner on Vava'u Island. Spectacular. Because the swell can come into here. It's not bad, it's just a little bit, not as much as it would have been out at sea because of the reefs. Look at that, that's pretty spectacular. So we're rounding there, Vava'u, and then we'll change course slightly to head on down. So here we are coming down beyond Port Morel, wide open water, lots of choices of anchorages, some better than others. Vava'u beach and island, and a very nice anchorage because you have the reef, a big reef, over to the south. Lots of these little hermit crabs. So here we are, about to round the corner here and get into the main channel leading to Vava'u harbour. So finally, near the end of my stay, a trip into Swallow's Cave finally to get some snorkeling in there. And that was after this magnificent trip out to see the whales, the humpback whales, 2 pairs with their young, a young calf, each of them had swimming beside the mother, and the father not too far away. Absolutely wonderful end to my trip in Vava'u in Tonga.